there. Yep.
Yeah.
Jewett City, Griswold. No, Valentine don't like us.
They don't?
No, I got kicked out of the Valentine social media group.
Really?
Yeah, they said, well, you were posting too much. I'm like, what? It's like, aren't you supposed to be distributing information?
It's like,
Oh,
folks, I'm a news source.
I'm not. I wasn't aware that if you post here a lot,
Wow.
you get the boot.
Yeah, but it's Voluntown.
Well, you just didn't fit into their category.
So I don't.
It's like Sterling. It's Voluntown. It's like Sterling. You post too much.
I
You
love
cover up-
Valentine.
You cover up all the cows and
I-
everything else. You can't do that.
You're not rural.
You can't do that, Mike.
Now you know what town I enjoy, but I just didn't fit in at all. Was Canterbury. I did not fit in to Canterbury at all. The folks in Canterbury, they have their own way. They have their own way, and it's a big farming community.
Oh, absolutely.
And they try to sell a lot of their goods and services locally. Through different like flea markets and farmers markets and so forth. But if you're not like one of them, you're not one of them. If you know what I'm saying.
You ain't never been to Pepperidge Farm.
You didn't have any jerseys, so therefore.
What? Jerseys? What does that got to do with
Jersey
Canterbury?
cow, Jersey bull.
Oh, okay. We actually had cows in our backyard. Don't you remember?
Yeah.
We had 3 or 4.
Yeah.
We had three cows in a bowl. 3 cows in a bowl. We
Yeah,
had.
but they knew they weren't yours, so you didn't fit in.
The bull got loose a few times too.
Oh boy, and that was a Jersey.
He was a runt, but
That's
still, you didn't want to mess.
mean.
You don't want to mess with the bull, and you certainly. He would
Yeah.
he'd get up on 169, go nuts, and go, "Hey, I'm here."
That's with the bull. You get the horn.
He didn't have any horns. He had no. He was a little runt, is what he was. But,
Must have been the young one.
huh?
A young one.
No, he was fully grown.
Well,
Oh yeah, but he'll still charge you. That'll still hurt.
Oh
Yeah,
You won't get stuck with horns, but you will get a 400-pound animal
Yeah,
ramming into you.
more than that.
well, we
Yeah.
wouldn't want to wear that.
Well, you said it was
1200.
a run, so I'm thinking like he's full grown, but he's on the smaller side.
He is. He
Yeah.
was. So
And I mean, 400 pounds is nothing to scoff at. That's still a big boy.
yeah. So I got a question for you. Do you think that when it comes to like getting information out there, via video or whatever, that Channel 22 public access, do you feel that that is a better or equal option to internet streaming?
No, I think it's worse than internet streaming.
Okay, why do you think
What's
it's
Channel
worse?
22?
Channel 22 public access, available through your cable company. Do you think that that is as good of an option, or not as good of an option, or an equal option to streaming on the internet as far as availability?
Well,
That's what I'm asking you.
I never really watched Channel 22.
Yeah, me neither.
I never really watched it.
Okay, so you don't watch Channel 22.
No, I mean,
Um,
because I had no interest to watch it.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, I
Like, there was a couple.
I don't. I think it's strictly Griswold. Is it? Is it strictly Griswold?
Yeah, every town has their public
Yeah, but a
access
lot
that
of
is
them-
given to them by the cable companies.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not 24. I mean, it's on 24/7. But what are they doing? Repeating, or I mean, how do they fill the content? I mean,
Well, they have, like,
I'm not
different
really
stuff.
sure.
Like I think Plainfield, because I've definitely seen it. Because my dad has watched it 1 or 2 times, and it had like it was like Good Morning Plainfield or something,
Yeah.
or like it just had a bunch of. They just went around to a bunch of different places in like Eastern Connecticut,
Yeah.
and they just talked about like historical stuff and. Like they were in Mystic Seaport one time. They were talking
Mhm.
about all that, and they were going around showing off all the different stuff. And or I don't even know if it's called Good Morning Plainfield. It's called Good Morning something, but it's not like Good Morning Connecticut.
Right.
It's just focused on they just walk around different places in eastern and southeastern Connecticut, and they're like, "Yeah, look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff and things, guys. It's not just cows and
It might
farms.
be
Look."
something that is done locally, and tape delayed,
Yeah.
and put up on public access. But
Yeah,
Is anybody watching public access? Is
No.
anybody watching Channel 22?
there's maybe like 6 people, and they're all in their late 80s.
I think we all see the commercials out there. Cable's dead,
Yeah.
and I think it is.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, no,
it just
yeah.
hasn't died fully yet, but it's dying.
It's dying a slow death.
Yeah, it's in its dying
Because-
throes.
I mean, look now. A lot of your major networks now are providing streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you
Hmm.
can, and what that gives you, it gives you the opportunity to pick and choose what you want to watch.
Right.
Where if you buy a cable, you got to take 250 channels where you watch 5. So now you have an opportunity to pick what you want,
Right.
and you pay it so much per month. You know, I forget what you got. Peacock out there now, which is like what, NBC? Is that Peacock? Is what, NBC?
Yes.
Probably.
And then you got Discovery, which is
Mhm.
about $3 a month.
Well, the thing is that they all have streaming
They're all streaming.
options now.
Yeah.
You know, as far as being independent, you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And the
Even,
nice
even a
thing
lot of
is-
the local news stations that now are all advertising streaming.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, why would you?
it opens up a whole new avenue for things.
Oh,
It really does. You know, as far as commerce is concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be careful because next thing you know, you have a.
SNSN, your local news leader.
Uh-oh.
Dang, that was Kevin Dunn. All of a sudden, just showed up out of nowhere. The thing is that it's going to open up a whole new commerce, thing for commerce.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I mean, you got to be careful as far as how many streaming services you have, because next thing you know,
You're paying just as much as you did for
or
cable.
more,
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, oh look, Melissa's there. Looking, and she says, I only watched public access, that channel, when school stuff was on or in, like a graduation or one of Mr. Hess's productions. It's been a while for sure, but cut cable a long, long time ago. And yes, we did.
Yeah. Now, Griswold, the high school had something though. Did they broadcast on 22? The high school.
They do. Matter of fact, Griswold High School has the I guess they pretty much have the plug for Channel 22. They can get in and out whenever they want to, as far as being, able to broadcast.
Right.
So my whole point was about this whole conversation is that the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is having a meeting on the 23rd. And they're going to be discussing the upgrades or the possible upgrades to the Patchogue Dam, as well as certain repairs that they want to do.
Yep.
So the meeting is being televised on public access channel 22. Now, the broadcast is also going to be originating from the Griswold School campus. So maybe they thought that there was their option. They also said that there's going to be an email on the bottom of the screen. So for the public forum, if you want to go ahead and participate or ask a question or something like that, you just email them and then they will react to the emails.
Yeah.
So the question is anybody going to watch public access channel 22?
I would bet half the town, or more than 3/4 of the town, will not watch it.
Yeah, no. It'll be more of the older folks that
Yeah.
will probably watch it.
Because
That's what the good thing to have it. Like it's good to have because of the older generations who don't
Yeah.
know
And
about streaming and things like, or like they know of it but they don't know
now,
where to get it, how to do it. So it's like it's good for those situations.
Right,
but like
right.
they should stream it because the majority of people, let's say you're working, you actually want to know about this stuff.
Now,
you can't just
Yeah.
turn on channel 22 while you're working in New London.
is
you know.
is channel 22 and cable out in the Patchogue Town area? I don't think it is. I don't think they carry Atlantic Broadband out there.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just Atlantic Broadband. I think channel 22 is it's just Atlantic Broadband.
I think
huh?
it's Atlantic Broadband because they broadcast out of My Rock Avenue.
Okay.
So if people in Glasgow, I don't think they can get Atlantic Broadband out there.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think they probably have another service.
Got it. So that was my question.
So
Is
the
it
the people who need to know in the know may not be able to get channel 22. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I'm not up that 100% on 22, but I'd be interested to see if it is out there. 'Cause I don't
Yeah.
think it is. You know,
Got it.
that's why a lot of
Got
people have a satellite because they, but I think it's a different service. I don't think it's Atlantic Broadband.
No, Atlantic
Well, I
Broadband
don't know if
doesn't
they
do
have
satellite.
what's the one with the Frontier?
Oh, I don't think Frontier goes out there either.
Well, who the
Frontier,
hell is
I don't think Frontier has 22.
Okay.
I don't believe they do.
Well, either way, they didn't even specify
Yeah.
what channel or what cable system. They just said cable access channel 22. But I can tell you this, that whatever cable company you have or whatever cable company that you subscribe to,
Yeah.
they are they have to have a public access channel
Yes,
for the towns that they serve.
Correct.
Mhm.
So that's
Yes.
a good question.
I
We don't know the
know.
answer
So
to.
if a particular out in that area, if it's a different cable company and I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be something we'd have to ask residents who live in that area. I really don't know.
Yeah,
We will have to see. We will certainly have to see.
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We will be back with more. SNSN is basically going to be streaming live on Facebook now. So,
Yeah.
a lot of news and information. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
we're going to be doing now.
We don't want to be streaming dead, that's for sure.
Huh?
We don't want to be streaming dead.
No.
Oh.
No. Okay, Paul. Great. Another great joke by Paul Lash. All right, we'll be back in just a little bit right here on SNSN.
You buy better. Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
When was the last time you considered the benefits of having all your insurance handled in one place? One number to call, a licensed account manager dedicated to your policies, discounts for having your policies with one company. The list goes on. Did you know the Burns Agency has a team dedicated specifically to home, auto, umbrella, flood, life insurance, business insurance, including workers' comp and professional policies? We do it all. Call, email, chat us online today. Experience the products and service our loyal customers receive and appreciate. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Much better. So much better it burns. Right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
We are the future. Griswold Parks and Rec is a parent's one-stop source for all things fun. Town events, sports, fitness, and enrichment for all ages. We love our residents. Let us prove it. Go to griswoldrec.org.
Hi, this is Alan Gear. You may know me as Mr. Jewett City. I want to tell you about my experience with our local eye doctor, Dr. Joel Zuckerbrun. I recently had cataract surgery, and I was told that I needed new glasses. I didn't know what to do because the problem was this was right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Where the heck was I going to get glasses? I checked places that make glasses. I looked online, and what I found was my solution was practically in my own backyard. So I called Dr. Z, as most people know him. His office is right on North Main Street, right here in the borough of Jewett City. I went to my appointment and had my glasses faster than I would have thought possible. Call Dr. Zuckerbrun at 376-2848. I trust Dr. Z with my eyesight, and you should too. Make an appointment today.
Hi, I'm Harry, the Tooth Fairy. Or at least I used to be the Tooth Fairy. Business was great. Then people started discovering Griswold Dental. Dr. Norman Katzoff and his staff can do things to help you keep your teeth longer. It's enough to make an old tooth fairy cry. Griswold Dental can do all the work in-house. Imagine a new crown in 2 hours. They even know how to make dental anxiety go away. They even have a laser that can help with your gums. Griswold Dental will make you want to smile again. They can restore, clean, and help prevent all those problems that keep me in business. Dr. Katzoff and his staff will make you feel like family. They're friendly and you'll be comfortable. Contact Griswold Dental today and set up an appointment. 860-376-2624. 860-376-2624. Griswold Dental, 87 Slater Avenue, Jewett City. Tell them the Tooth Fairy sent you.
SNSN, your local news leader.
Hello, everyone. This is Austin Smith for your Wednesday, June 16th Spotlight in History. On this day in 1567, Mary, Queen of Scots, is imprisoned in Loch Leven Castle Prison in Scotland. In 1624, Virginia becomes an English crown colony following the bankruptcy of the London Company. In 1779, U.S. General Anthony Wayne captures Stony Point, New York, inflicting heavy losses on the British. In 1784, Holland forbids the wearing of orange clothes. In 1858, Abraham Lincoln gives his famous quote saying, "A house divided against itself cannot stand," accepting the Illinois Republican Party nomination for the Senate. In 1882, 17-inch hailstones weighing 1.75 pounds each fall in WQ, Iowa. In 1902, The Wizard of Oz musical first opens in Chicago, Illinois. And in 1903, the Pepsi-Cola Company is formed. And this has been Austin Smith with your Wednesday, June 16th Spotlight in History. For more spotlights, listen here every weekday on SNSN.
Hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Chief spokesman for Russian President Vladimir Putin warning that today's summit with President Biden in Geneva will not be easy and will probably not produce any breakthroughs. White House correspondent Greg Clugston says that human rights will be just one of the issues the two leaders will discuss at the sit-down, set to begin in just a few hours.
President Biden plans to raise Moscow's treatment of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who was jailed and poisoned. The president says it would be a tragedy if Navalny were to die or be killed in prison.
It would do nothing but hurt his relationships with the rest of the world, in my view, and with me.
Other topics for discussion between the two leaders include Ukraine, arms control, and cyber attacks.
The closed-door talks at a lakeside mansion in Geneva expected to run for at least several hours. The Republican governors of Texas and Arizona appealing to their counterparts in other states to help them deal with the crisis continues on the southwest border. Greg Abbott of Texas, Doug Ducey of Arizona, sending a letter to their brethren in other states, asking them to send any law enforcement resources that they can spare. Former President Trump's son-in-law, key advisor Jared Kushner, has a book deal.
Broadside Books, a conservative imprint of HarperCollins Publishers, says the book will come out in early 2022. Kushner has been working on the memoir, currently untitled, and is expected to write about everything from the Middle East to criminal justice reform to the administration's handling of the pandemic.
Correspondent Jason Walker is saying the terms of the book deal have not been disclosed. Watching Wall Street this morning, stock futures are mixed. Right now, Dow futures are down 22 points on NASDAQ futures, 13 points higher. S&P futures, 2 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Let's see, if something costs less. The following are real-life stories from Trinity Debt Management.
My story begins with debt, a lot of debt. I used my credit cards as a source of income.
It was not a good situation.
I couldn't pay my bills. The interest on the cards was really high.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
I initially was scared to call, and immediately I felt relief.
They contacted all of our creditors, and they put us on a plan for success. Trinity Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
I've been able to pay off close to $15,000. We're doing a lot better. Please pick up the phone and see how affordable and easy it is to pay off your debt. It's a godsend.
We're debt-free for keeps. Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. The specter of mass starvation hangs over North Korea as Kim Jong-un warns of possible serious food shortages.
Mr. Kim told a meeting of senior leaders that the food situation was, as he put it, getting tense. He said the agricultural sector had failed to produce enough grain, blaming last year's typhoons, which caused widespread flooding. North Korea is also struggling because of international sanctions imposed because of its nuclear programs, and it closed its borders last year to keep out the coronavirus, forcing trade with its most important ally, China, to fall by 80%. Hundreds of thousands of North Koreans died in a famine in the 1990s. It's thought 10 million could be going hungry now.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. A standoff between India's government and Twitter is escalating. The country's tech minister accusing the social media giant of deliberately ignoring local laws. News and analysis at townhall.com. Some American mayors appealing to President Biden for help in curbing deadly violence in their cities.
It is getting worse.
Dayton, Ohio Mayor Nan Whaley, the new president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. 27 mayors have signed a letter to President Biden calling for federal help as mass killings and other gun violence continue to climb. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Every day in America, people are dying needlessly from gun violence. And we do need Washington to wake up to this reality.
Tuesday's online conference came hours after 4 people were killed and 4 others wounded in a shooting in a home in Chicago. Several mass shootings over the weekend in several cities stoke concerns about a spike in gun violence heading into the summer. I'm Tim McGuire.
Once again on Wall Street this hour, Dow futures are down 26 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
With SRN Sports, I'm Patrick Foss. Anyone hopeful of a Bryson DeChambeau-Brooks Koepka pairing at the U.S. Open will have to wait. The USGA has them on opposite sides of the course at Torrey Pines, one playing in the morning and one in the afternoon. DeChambeau and Koepka have been engaged in a social media spat that began nearly 2 years ago. And if you listen to Koepka, it may be all in fun.
I think it's good for the game. I mean, it's pretty much been on every news channel. It's up there. It's a big news story. To me, that's growing the game.
U.S. Open tees off Thursday in the Stanley Cup semifinals. Tampa Bay iced New York 4-2 to tie the series at 1. Lightning forward Braden Point, who scored his 10th goal of the playoffs, says they had a better jump than they did in losing the opener.
I think our compete was higher tonight. You know, we were selling out a lot more. Guys were winning races to pucks, and we were able to capitalize on some chances.
Game 3 Thursday on the Islanders' home ice. Tonight it's Montreal at Vegas. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0. This is SRN Sports. Brooklyn has a 3-2 lead in their NBA Eastern Conference semifinal after 114-108 comeback win over Milwaukee. The Bucks' Giannis Antetokounmpo with 34 points on blowing a 16-point halftime lead in Brooklyn.
Coming out of the half, our effort wasn't what it's supposed to be. I think Brooklyn went on the run. They made tough shots. They went to the free throw line. They made some threes. We just got to do a good job defending.
Game 6 Thursday in Milwaukee. In the American League, Cleveland beat Baltimore 7-2. It was New York 6-5 over Toronto. Chicago 3, Tampa Bay 0. Detroit 4, Kansas City 3. Houston 6, Texas 3. Oakland 6-4 over LA. Seattle blanked Minnesota 10-0. National League Finals, Washington 8, Pittsburgh 1. New York 3-2 over Chicago. St. Louis 2, Miami 1. Cincinnati in 10 innings over Milwaukee 2-1. Colorado 8, San Diego 4. San Francisco 9, Arizona 8. Los Angeles 5, Philadelphia 3. The Interleague Final, Boston 10, Atlanta 8. With SRN Sports, I'm Patrick Foss.
For the SRN.
All right, let's take a look at the forecast right now. Here it is with Paul Lash.
Good morning, everybody. Right now, the temperature downtown Jewish City is 63 degrees. Plenty of sunshine around today. Highs will be around 76. But tonight, clear skies. Good sleeping weather. Low around 48. And it goes to be a Thursday. More sunshine around. Highs will be around 77. And again, for Thursday night, mostly clear skies. lows around 49. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Wednesday, 06/16/2021.
The latest news and weather. SNSN.
All right. Good morning. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It is
My Wi-Fi.
Oh no, sorry. I was just asking Paul because my phone's set to like automatically connect to the Wi-Fi, and it just didn't. So I was like, "Is the Wi-Fi down?"
It's a good question.
Hey,
I'm not connected either. I guess
what's going on?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
It's not even popping up.
It's not.
No.
All right. Let's see. No. That might be. Well, welcome to Atlantic Broadband. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is. Well, it looks like you're using 4G today, buddy. Yeah.
Not up.
I've got one here called the Fish Family.
Got Brewitt City. Got Dean's.
I got Dean's. Yeah, Dean's Guest.
Frontier's up.
I'm actually connected to Dean's Guest right now.
Yeah, T-Mobile. I don't know who's T-Mobile, but
somebody's hotspot.
Oh, O&E. Customer service. Oh, that must be across the street. That must be the T-shirt shop, right? O&E.
Huh?
Is O&E the T-shirt shop?
Yes.
There you go. Guest. That's over here too.
Hey, there you go.
Man, we could. It's locked. We're all locked, so we don't know what their password is. So, but anyway. Yeah. Your Wi-Fi is down, my friend.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
whatever.
Oh well, as long as we got the landline.
We got landline. We have I mean we have internet, so I don't know what
Right,
the deal is.
yeah.
So we do. Let's see. Do I have internet? Well, yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting it at all.
I don't know. Not at all.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right. So anyway, sorry, Mike. We didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just.
No.
Gonna ask
I'm just
Paul.
gonna sit back and listen to what you guys had to say. You know.
Well, no, it was just about that. It was just about the Wi-Fi because I noticed it. I was like, "Hey, wait a second." I was like, "Wait a second. Does that mean we're on there?" But then I was like, "We're on the landline here, so it's like
Yeah,
that's-
we have an Ethernet connection, so I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi.
But I just wanted to make sure, like,
No,
just in case, because sometimes the Wi-Fi goes out, and then we're like, "Oh man, the Wi-Fi's out," and then we check the signal there, and the signal's dead, and we're like, "Oh crap!" And then
Yeah.
we're running around for 20 minutes, like, "Great, thanks, Atlantic Broadband."
So we've been talking about data centers lately. We had Todd Babbitt in last week, as well as Senator Heather Summers.
Yep.
There was a planning and zoning meeting in Griswold on Monday night, which had about 20-25 people.
Yeah.
Was not streamed.
No.
Was not streamed.
It was not streamed. It was also difficult hearing the speakers get up because they were facing the panel and they were talking to a mic, but the speakers weren't loud enough for the audience to hear any of what they were saying.
So, but what we do know now is that the text amendment that they wanted to get, within the planning and zoning regulations in Griswold, it's now changed.
Yes, they got the changes in that they needed, and it was approved by the zoning board.
So it's all but done. Data centers are coming.
Well, there's still some more things they have to go through.
What?
The master plan there's going to be a public hearing on the master plan.
It sounds like Ren and Stimpy.
No, that's
plan.
I'm just repeating what they had said. So there's going to be some additional meetings. It's going to be a master plan meeting. So
it's stuck to evil.
But it's let's face it,
Yeah.
they can
Master
start
plan.
to move right now. The guy pretty much told them, if you don't mess with us, because if you don't want it here, we're not going to waste our time. We're gone.
Yeah.
So, but fortunately, it's a smart thing that they did, because if you think about it, the people that lived in Griswold before us, what if they said, no, we don't want a Slater mill.
Yeah, we don't want to.
We don't want a Slater mill. We don't want a plastic wire and cable. We don't want
Wire wind.
wire wire. We don't want any of these in town.
We
Where
don't
do
want
you
any
think-
of the textile mills.
Where do you think Jewett City would be today?
Nowhere.
Canterbury.
Like six
It would
shacks.
be nowhere. There wouldn't. Why would there be a bank? Why would there be
Mhm.
anything downtown here if it wasn't for those people that were before us, that were smart enough to know to move forward to do something in the town.
Now I said Canterbury not to be disrespectful, but because they have their own way of getting taxes and stuff like that through farmers and
Correct.
and that kind of stuff. But that's what you would have.
Right.
You would have a small, sleepy kind of town.
Right.
You know,
There'd
with
be-
not a lot going on, but
Yeah.
you know.
Instead of the bank, there'd probably be some sheep there, or probably
Mhm.
a big fence with cows in it and things
Yep.
like that. But think about it. If those people back then said no to everything, we would not be anywhere. So I think what people got to do is they got to look forward now and say, okay, now's our turn to take Griswold and Jewett City to the next level.
Yeah.
And let's bring these things in so that the people after us can say, those people were smart enough. They brought those data centers in back in
Right,
the
right.
20s.
Exactly.
So, it's a continuing evolution that people need to do in order to move forward. And I'm afraid there's still people here that disagree with everything you do. I mean, what's next?
I like I get a kick out of people that say, well, Lisbon did it. Well, Lisbon's big enough. They have enough, area, square miles to, put, stuff in, because of course Lisbon Landing, right?
Right.
That went in, and we all know that they're doing very well for the town of Lisbon.
Right.
Mhm.
Griswold's the same way. We have the property, we have the land,
right?
That
Yeah.
people, that can be utilized.
We
It's the
have the
same
potential.
thing. Exactly.
But we have one benefit. Everybody bitched about the mall going over to Elizabeth. Why didn't it come into Griswold? Why did it, everybody bitched about that for a long, long time. Well, now we have the opportunity of these data centers, but we're going to get revenue coming in without the aggravation of all that traffic crap that's going on over there by Lisbon Landing. We're not going to have that.
But see,
the
it's not
town
even-
stays pretty much the same like it is.
You know what? Honestly, if you think about it, and I don't really, I remember, and I'm sure you do too, before Lisbon Landing went in, it was really just forest. It was just a bunch of trees.
And it was really a lot of farmland. It was like, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
a machinist thing being out there on the field,
Mhm.
about
I
work.
actually like it being there. It's right off the highway.
Oh, yeah.
It's not in any really residential area or anything that's any close to it.
Right.
So they did a really good thing. Yeah, they could have come up and brought it up, off of like Barber Road or something like that, where like other things are starting to develop here in Griswold.
Right.
But still, I mean, Lisbon did it right. I mean, they had it. I mean, it's right out of the way of everything, but it's right in the way of where you need it to be.
Yeah, and I'm sure that I'm sure
Does
there
that
were-
make any sense
Yeah.
at all?
No, it does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
and I'm
it's
sure-
right where it needs to be because it's not invasive, but it's just there enough to be like, hey, there's a Walmart or a Home Depot, whatever, There's Lisbon Landing. We can go there.
Yeah,
Get
well,
our
I
stuff.
think originally there probably were a bunch of people in Lisbon probably didn't like the idea because again they were a rural town. They like the idea of having a mall in their backyard. But it's proven to be an advantage for them because their tax structure pretty much stays kind of level. It doesn't really go up and down a lot.
And you know what else? Because of Lisbon Landing, you know what happened with Lisbon Landing? Other businesses saw and they're like, well, we got to move in somewhere.
Yeah.
So they blasted out that whole mountain across the street and moved everything up top there. So now there's a whole bunch of stuff up there.
Exactly.
Lowe's, Target, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think the thing that people don't understand is you have to start somewhere. The shovel has to break ground somewhere.
This is from a
You can't
19-year-old.
say no to everything. Okay, you got to start somewhere. If it's a tech company, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to. Unless it's something like bad tech, then yeah, say no, vote no.
Chicken
if you
manure
want.
factory.
Do that.
I had somebody ask me that the other day.
Start
They said, "Was that a
somewhere.
joke?" Yeah, kind of.
Because it's like, if it starts with these guys, if it starts with the data centers, guess what? Other big businesses are going to be like, I mean, these guys are kind of hip. These guys are with it. These guys know what the kids want. They're with the millennials. They're going to be spending the money. Let's go in there. Now, then you're going to have restaurants cropping up. You might have I almost said Michael's Grocery. That is long since deceased. You're going to have a lot of other stuff.
Michael's
moving
Market, you
in.
mean?
Yeah, Michael's Market.
One of the things I asked when I contacted people, I talked to the guy out in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I asked him about were there other businesses that came in as a result of the data centers? And basically what they told me was, yeah, there has been other businesses have come in, but they've been primarily related to the data centers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So there has other types of business that has gone into Grand Rapids as a result of that, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was during, you know, keep in mind, that's during a time when things, right now with the pandemic, I think they've had data centers probably for about 5 or 6 years. They've had them for quite a while, and you know they're not brand new.
Well, they've had to, because I mean, look at you when you have companies like Google and you have companies like Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft.
Yeah,
you've got to have data centers. Some of them have their own data centers, like Microsoft has, you know, some of their own data centers.
Right.
Yeah. But other companies, you know, need these outlets, you know, to store data.
Yeah.
Where they don't have the
Well,
facility to do
it
so.
doesn't make sense for a small business, or even because one of the things what do you think the bank probably does? I'm sure they probably have data at the bank, but they have to back that data up somewhere. You can't, you know, there's rules that, you know, that all your accounts are in the bank. There's a backup of all those accounts someplace off site.
Right, but the bank probably, you know, or any other organization, it's the cloud.
Yeah.
You know, it's a secure cloud, you know. I don't think people know, or well, I think they do, but you don't picture when you say, okay, you know, I'm saving it to the cloud, you're actually thinking, you know, it's up on a fluffy white cloud somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not. It's in a data center.
Somewhere.
That's where everything is going.
Right. It's not necessarily in the state of Connecticut. It's probably out California someplace, or
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah.
Like
It's just going to wireless memory bank. That's all it is.
Yeah. So
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's why there's that, and that's one of the reasons why they say that don't put anything up on the internet if you don't want to have it on the front page of the New York Times.
Right.
Because you know,
I'm a little nervous about backing stuff on the cloud. I kind of keep my own backups.
Do you?
Yeah, any of my checking accounts and other stuff, I back them up local. I have my own hard drives. I back them up.
See, now I gotta say that's old school thinking, Paul.
I know
and,
it is.
yeah, and you know, and but that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
You know, I've never had any problem. I've never had any problem. Matter of fact, a lot of this radio station is backed up and broadcast through a cloud.
Yeah.
You know, and the cloud is called Dropbox.
Yeah.
A lot of people know what Dropbox is. They've heard of Dropbox. They use Dropbox.
Right.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
And it's just a cloud, and it's just sitting in a data center somewhere.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
No, I see. Don't forget, I've been backing up stuff before the cloud came along.
Right.
The cloud already been out a few years.
So you were cloud before cloud was cool.
My man had.
No, I mean, think about it.
My man.
How long the
7.5
cloud?
floppy disks.
I mean, how long the cloud been out? What, 4 or 5 years? I mean, it hasn't been out that long.
Oh no, dude, no.
Brother man, the cloud's been around for a while.
A long time.
Ever since, not since, well, probably
I'd say
since
2004.
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah.
You know, because what had happened is for retail, a lot of wireless companies were offering like backup services, a part of like Verizon has it.
Yeah.
You know, you get like 5 gigs of free space. Well, where do you think that went? It was cloud.
Right.
You know, and that brought in companies like Dropbox and others.
Yeah. And it might not have been commercially, it might have been for retail purposes. It might not have been commercially available to like you and me or Mike yet, but still a thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's been around for a while.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the typical homeowner, I mean, what do I have for stuff that I need to back up on the cloud, really?
No, but I'm talking about my stuff at home too. I mean, we have I mean, I put stuff up in the cloud all the time.
Yeah.
I don't have any, and I have not had any issues. And I think sometimes that because the way it's actually encrypted, it's safer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you know someone is trying to jack into your computer somewhere, you know, and they get a hold, you know, of your computer, but stuff's not there, where are they going to find it? Well, they can't get into Dropbox.
Yeah.
You know, or it's encrypted. So
Right.
So, and I'm not saying you're wrong for, you know, backing stuff up at home, because that is very secure, because you can put it on a storage device or whatever. And
Well, I have it on storage devices.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can put them in a safe somewhere and boom, there it goes. But I think, you know, services like Dropbox are just as secure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always that possibility, but there's always possibility somebody could break into your house, and take your data too. So
yeah.
So I think it's one of those tricky things that it's like trust what you trust, but you got to know that there's going to be ins and outs. There's always something that can happen. Like somebody could break in and steal your hard drives. Somebody could break into the data centers and steal your data. Well, not break into the data centers.
They
but
won't
hack in. I mean, and steal your information. There's always bad people doing something bad.
Yeah, if they're going to break into a data, they're going to break into a company.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is some of these cyber criminals, or most of these cyber criminals, they don't care about me. They don't care about you. They don't care about Austin.
God, no.
They're trying to get into the U.S. government. They're trying to get into big people, banks.
Jeff Bezos's bank accounts. They don't care about you, me, and Joe. They don't care about us.
No.
Because they're just like us. Just
me, they're gonna get $50.
Yeah.
And then that's about it. It's like, well, you must need it more than I do.
They're gonna be giving me money. They're gonna rob me, and they're gonna be giving me money.
They'll say, "Oh, I feel sorry for this kid."
Oh man, this sucks. Here, take some of this. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Thomas Millett says, "Good morning, SNSN crew. Good morning,
morning, Tom."
Oh, you know what, Austin? I forgot to tell you, and I think this is kind of neato. Okay, Austin's dying. Hold on, we'll wait for Austin.
SNSN dead.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
Tragedy happened at the SNSN studios today as Austin Smith choked on water.
I was trying to stifle a cough and
now Paul got it. Paul vicariously also has a cough. I'm the smoker and I'm not even coughing.
Yeah.
No, not yet. That was just a furball. So
what were you going to tell them?
Monday, we would like to talk scouts.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know if you are up to dressing up in your scout regalia, if you still have it.
Oh, of course I have it.
So
I can come in my full garb if you want.
Absolutely. And we're going to have a young lady join us as well.
Okay.
By the name of Olivia Avery. She's from Lisbon.
Okay.
And she earned the Gold Award for Girl Scouts. So I figured we'd have a little battle back and forth because apparently the Gold Award is a lot harder than getting an Eagle Scout.
Ooh.
So we're going to talk about that Monday.
Oh, I didn't
No, it's not going to be like that. We're just going to talk about.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I was going to say because I have no idea. I haven't looked into the goal. I know it exists, but I just haven't looked into it. So
yeah,
I would have no credence to say anything on it.
Yeah, she has the Gold Award. So that's Olivia Avery, young lady from Lisbon. It's going to come in and then Austin, we want to honor you too as being an Eagle Scout. And I just think that's great stuff. You know what I mean? So I asked her if she knew you. She goes, "Wasn't he from Lisbon?" No, but who I think she was thinking about?
Probably Tom. Yeah, because of the hair.
Exactly. Oh, that's right. That's you guys. Is that a prerequisite to be an Eagle Scout now?
That'd be funny.
Long, bushy, fluffy, red ginger hair, or
I mean, I don't know. That'd be funny. It is ironic though that we have.
She's thinking of Thomas Fowler, who just
Tom
earned his
Fowler.
Eagle Scout last year, right? Or the year before?
Yeah, last spring. Last spring, I believe. And I earned mine back in 2016.
Oh, you've had it for 5 years now.
Oh, yeah.
So you were 14 when you got your Eagle? Dude, really? You got to think that one out a little bit.
I was 17.
All right, so you were. How
Was it
old were
2017?
you? Because you're 19
I was
now,
16.
right?
I was 16 when I got it.
So that's 3 years ago.
Yeah, but you got to remember, my birthday's at the end of the year.
Okay, so still it's
And I'm a
3
year
years
behind,
ago. It doesn't
and I'm a year-
matter.
and I'm a year behind.
I mean, isn't there a time
I was
frame?
born in 2001.
Isn't there a time frame between ranks?
Yeah.
You gotta wait a certain.
So like Life Scout, you have to wait 6 months.
Yeah.
You have to be a Life Scout for at least 6 months.
Thomas Millett, I guess, heard you coughing and gagging a little bit, and he said, "Is that the boneless water, Austin?"
Yes.
Did you get some of that fish stick flavored water? He's like, "I never know."
Oh no.
Cindy says she has a nephew that is an Eagle Scout. So Cindy, is your nephew local around here? Is he around here?
There's not too many kids that get to that rank of Eagle Scout.
No.
Only a few. It's not
Right.
something that
I didn't even get tenderfoot.
Oh shit! What do they do? Throw you out?
No, I just didn't do this stuff. But I went to the meetings and I went to the camp outs and
tenderfoot. You didn't even get that?
I was scout, man. That was it. That was it. I was just a scout.
They probably said, "What a waste."
No, but you want to know something? That is where I met a lifelong friend that I still have today.
Yeah.
And John Feelharbor, who's Lisa Feelharbor's brother. Him and I, he was a junior scoutmaster back then. Because back then, you know, like 3 years older than somebody, that's a big deal. You know, 17 and 14. It's like, you know, whatever.
So you were in 20?
What?
St. Mary's, Troop 20?
I was in Troop 20, yeah.
So what year was that?
Oh my God, 13 BC?
No.
I don't know.
Because I was involved with Lisbon Scouts.
That's not Troop 20.
It was 73. But we did a lot of stuff with Troop 20.
I don't remember doing anything with Lisbon.
Really?
So no, so I was like 12, so 78, 77, 78.
Well, I
right around there.
I left in 78.
Yeah, I don't remember doing anything with Lisbon at all. The only thing that I know that we did multi-troop was a Klondike that we went to.
Yeah.
And oh my God, was I messed up there.
Yeah.
But Troop 20 has been around for
What's been around
forever.
a while.
It's one of the
Yeah,
longer,
see,
one of the older troops.
We parked into with 20 and went to a Canadian jamboree together.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the Klondike. Did you like the Klondikes?
I really like the Klondikes.
I
those
didn't
are
like
fun.
it
They
at
were
all.
fun.
You didn't like them, Paul?
Running through the
Well,
snow.
I was don't forget, I was a assistant scoutmaster then, so I was, you know,
I
sleeping
was
on-
12
I was
years
not used to
old.
that nice cold weather. It's freezing I tried everything on my feet you could think about.
Yeah.
I was 12 years old
Yeah.
and I was exhausted by 8 o'clock. And I was like, I'm going to bed.
Yep.
And it's how I met John is that I had told him, I would say my feet, I can't feel them.
Well,
I mean, now I can't feel them because I have neuropathy. But back then, they were just, my feet were frozen.
Oh, yeah, I was, yeah.
And he had this stuff. I don't know. He called it some space age polymer. It was basically the same stuff that make up a Bobopedic, you know, one of those
Yeah.
memory foam beds
Yeah.
or whatever. And he made boots.
Oh.
And he put the boots on me.
Yeah.
And I wore them and my feet warmed up. But holy
Yeah.
cow! But that's John and I became really good friends. I was just at John's house last week. We had pizza and some adult beverages
Nice.
by his $700,000 house on Dr. Row in Norwich. Beautiful house.
Yeah, I can imagine.
8 bathrooms.
Wow.
Wow.
Servants' quarters.
Wow.
They don't
Wow.
have servants, but the old house is. I don't know if you remember Dr. Calla.
No.
And it was his old house.
Wow. 8
He
bathrooms.
moved
huh?
out. 8 bathrooms. I told him the first
That's a
time I
lot of
went
toilet
there.
paper.
Yeah, well, I told him the first time I went there that I went ahead and I wrote my name in one of the bathrooms in a Sharpie, and he still hasn't found it yet. I haven't done it, but
I know.
But the only one Klondike I didn't like. It was only one Klondike that I hated because it started out. There was no snow. There's none of that. But it had rained, so it was muddy.
Oh my God.
And it was awful.
That's
But
worse.
the mud froze because it got down into like the 20s one night. One night. By the way, it's a 2-night stay, so it's Friday night, Saturday night, and then you go home Sunday. Friday night, it froze because it got down in the 20s. Great, it was wonderful. And they're like, yeah, it's gonna be like a high in the 30s. You know, it's not gonna, it won't really unfreeze, so you'll be fine. By about noon, it was 65 degrees, and everybody's sweating to death, and it's muddy, and it's like, wow, this sucks. Let me do wintertime activities in spring type weather. Oh, this is great. Yes.
I think somebody didn't like us. We got screwed because when we did it, there were 5 stations,
Mhm.
and you got a schedule, and you had to go and do it by order.
Mhm.
And how far really were they apart?
Oh, it depends because you could go quite a ways.
Yeah.
Like you can go from the shotgun range Oh,
Well, this is the Patchogue State Forest, so
Oh,
that we
never
did
mind.
in, yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm thinking of Jane Webster because it's where all our Klondikes were. Were Jane Webster?
I think it was about a half a mile in between. Well, or a quarter. Well, I don't know. It seemed like a long freaking way. All I know is that we had to go to 5, and then all the way back down to 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the worst possible route anybody could have, and we ended up with that.
We had a weird one, and it was the mud year too, where we basically went. So basically, I think it's about a mile from like the what is it, like the metal shop, the ranger station, and going all
Yeah, it
the
was
way down to the
crazy, yeah.
shotgun range. Because you've been to Jane Webster, right?
Yep.
So you know, like the new shotgun range all the way down there, and then the ranger station all the way up by the entrance to the camp. It's got to be 3/4 of a mile. So we basically had to go from here to here, back to here, and then all around in the center by the parade field. So like from the dining hall to wherever the check-in station where
Yeah.
it's right by the
Well, anyway, our
General
Klondike
store.
took 9.5 hours.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
9.5 hours. What a bitch.
Trading post.
I still remember it today. I mean, I remember all of it.
Oh yeah, it's memories. You know, you never really realize, and this can be said for any point, any time in life, anytime you're doing something, you never know that you're making memories. You're just having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And my mother said to me when I got dropped off, she said, "You look like you were just on a 3-day binge." Because I was a mess, and all I wanted to do when I got home was go to bed.
Yep.
I was sore. It was a workout. I mean, you just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and you find exactly what it is you're capable of, even if you're only 12.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I mean, you find out that humans are really resilient because you know you have the belief that if you don't do this, you're going to die. You know what I mean. You have to complete it. It's a mission.
So you were
You're
like that,
driven to
like
do
that.
it.
What was that
so.
movie out there? Army? Was that where with the comedy, the Army movie?
Stripes.
Yeah. With Bill
And all I
Murray.
can envision is you running the back with the
John Candy.
John
yeah.
Candy doing that hike, and that's Mike Benarski running.
Oh, dang.
Paul always has the nicest things to say to me.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I
that's
could
just
I could
mean.
picture that being you because you're complaining here about you were exhausted.
I was exhausted, but it was probably one of the.
You'd be exhausted too, Paul.
No.
What?
He's so full of crap. It was.
Yeah.
It was. I still remember it today. It's probably one of the more, memorable things that I did as a kid. And I spent like 6 years in organized baseball. I think I have 1 or 2 really good memories that I remember today. As for that,
Yeah.
I went on one Klondike, and I remember the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, I also made. You said you're making memories, even though you don't realize it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I made a lifelong friend there.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
because as you get older, that gap
Sure.
closes. You're just adults now, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was an excellent experience, and
Mhm.
I'm glad I did it.
Yep.
Plus, you probably learned something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you learn a lot. I think more so about yourself. I mean, because as far as pitching a tent and building a fire and that kind of stuff, opening up a can with whatever and cooking it in whatever over an open fire, because that's what you got to do with the Klondike and stuff like that. It's basic survival technique,
Yeah.
and you don't realize that it's already embedded in you. So like if we dropped Austin somewhere in the middle of the woods somewhere, Austin would be able to survive. Anybody really would be able to survive because you figure it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Until you actually just ran out of food, there was nothing you could do, and that would be it. But most of the time, humans they're very resilient.
Well, that's Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Is that what I've never seen that show? Anyway, all right. The news is coming up. We will be back after the news on the other side, right here on SNSN.
The voice of Griswold, Jewett City and Plainfield. SNSN.
The flagship for Griswold High School sports, and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City.
The Streaming News and Sports Network. SNSN.
Hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Chief spokesman for Russian President Vladimir Putin warning that today's summit with President Biden in Geneva will not be easy and will probably not produce any breakthroughs. White House correspondent Greg Clugston says that human rights will be just one of the issues the two leaders will discuss at the sit-down set to begin in just a few hours.
President Biden plans to raise Moscow's treatment of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who was jailed and poisoned. The president says it would be a tragedy if Navalny were to die or be killed in prison.
It would do nothing but hurt his relationships with the rest of the world, in my view, and with me.
Other topics for discussion between the two leaders include Ukraine, arms control, and cyber attacks.
The closed-door talks at a lakeside mansion in Geneva expected to run for at least several hours. The Republican governors of Texas and Arizona appealing to their counterparts in other states to help them deal with the crisis continues on the southwest border. Greg Abbott of Texas, Doug Ducey of Arizona, sending a letter to their brethren in other states, asking them to send any law enforcement resources that they can spare. Former President Trump's son-in-law, key advisor Jared Kushner, has a book deal.
Broadside Books, a conservative imprint of HarperCollins Publishers, says the book will come out in early 2022. Kushner has been working on the memoir, currently untitled, and is expected to write about everything from the Middle East to criminal justice reform to the administration's handling of the pandemic.
Correspondent Jason Walker is saying the terms of the book deal have not been disclosed. Watching Wall Street this morning, stock futures are mixed. Right now, Dow futures are down 22 points. On the NASDAQ futures, 13 points higher. S&P futures, 2 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Let's see, something costs less. The following are real-life stories from Trinity Debt Management.
My story begins with debt, a lot of debt. I used my credit cards as a source of income.
It was not a good situation.
I couldn't pay my bills. The interest on the cards was really high.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
I initially was scared to call, and immediately I felt relieved.
They contacted all of our creditors, and they put us on a plan for success. Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
I've been able to pay off close to $15,000. We're doing a lot better. Please pick up the phone and see how affordable and easy it is to pay off your debt. It's a godsend. We're debt-free for keeps.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
The specter of mass starvation hangs over North Korea as Kim Jong-un warns of possible serious food shortages.
Mr. Kim told a meeting of senior leaders that the food situation was, as he put it, getting tense. He said the agricultural sector had failed to produce enough grain, blaming last year's typhoons, which caused widespread flooding. North Korea is also struggling because of international sanctions imposed because of its nuclear programs, and it closed its borders last year to keep out the coronavirus, forcing trade with its most important ally, China, to fall by 80%. Hundreds of thousands of North Koreans died in a famine in the 1990s. It's thought 10 million could be going hungry now.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. A standoff between India's government and Twitter is escalating. The country's tech minister accusing the social media giant of deliberately ignoring local laws. News and analysis at townhall.com. Some American mayors appealing to President Biden for help in curbing deadly violence in their cities.
It is getting worse.
Dayton, Ohio Mayor Nan Whaley, the new president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. 27 mayors have signed a letter to President Biden calling for federal help as mass killings and other gun violence continue to climb. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Every day in America, people are dying needlessly from gun violence. And we do need Washington to wake up to this reality.
Tuesday's online conference came hours after 4 people were killed and 4 others wounded in a shooting in a home in Chicago. Several mass shootings over the weekend in several cities stoke concerns about a spike in gun violence heading into the summer. I'm Tim McGuire.
Once again on Wall Street this hour, Dow futures are down 26 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The 9 a.m. report on the streaming news and sports network is being brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
I love working here because of the people, and I get to work with my family every day.
Come to Charlene's Diner for the best breakfast you've ever had.
That was Brittany and Matt from Charlene's Diner on Main Street in Jewett City. There are only a few things that have been able to stand the test of time in Jewett City, and one of them just happens to be Charlene's Diner, who just celebrated their 40th anniversary in business. How do you stay in business that long in a small town like Jewett City? It's a simple recipe, really great food and friendly service, and of course, family. You'll feel like family too, because you'll always be greeted with a smile that makes you feel like you're right at home. Stop by for breakfast or lunch 7 days a week. If you don't have any time, well, that's no problem. Order ahead and your food will be waiting for you when you walk into Charlene's door. You can find Charlene's Diner on Facebook too. Stop in and join the family for breakfast or lunch today.
I'm Charlene. Come to Charlene's Diner and order what you want and eat what you get.
All right, time to take a look at the forecast right now. Here he is. He had one job. It's Paul Lash.
Good morning, everybody. Right now, the temperature downtown Jewett City is 64 degrees. Well, plenty of sunshine around today. Highs will be around 76 degrees. But tonight, clear skies continuing. Lows around 48 degrees. It'll be a Thursday. More sunny skies. Highs around 78. And tomorrow night, again, clear. Lows around 49. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Wednesday, 06/16/2021.
SNSN, your local news leader.
All right, good morning. Welcome back to the broadcast here at SNSN, 17 minutes after 9. One of the things that we kind of talked about, didn't really talk about a whole lot so far this morning. Well, we've talked about public access.
Yep.
You know, is it a great choice? And I do want to go ahead and just go there real quick. David had said from Hamden, he goes, I'm late, but see, the topic is public access TV. My experience with public access TV was great. I had a wrestling show for a few years called Ringside Seat. We had many local and independent wrestlers in studio on our show, along with some WWE and ECW stars like Tito Santana, Sherry Martel, and Rob Van Dam. They gave us a free platform, and it was awesome.
Great.
Here's the thing about public TV here, public access TV too.
Yeah.
It is completely 100% freedom of speech.
Yeah, you can pretty much say what you want. I guess.
You can say anything.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Right.
There is if you want to have the topless show, you can on public access because it is freedom of speech. I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying there was a guy in New Haven, I remember back in the day, that they tried to pull off, but they couldn't because it's public access, it's freedom of speech.
Mhm.
He had strippers.
Really?
Yes. Strippers. And they couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
Really?
So
It's
until
public
he was
access.
done, he got his 15 minutes of fame and moved on. But
Wow.
yeah, you can if you want to sit there and for 30 minutes go mother
Really?
for 30 minutes constantly, you can.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, because it's not FCC regulated, because it's not like a national broadcast. It's, being broadcast to like 20 people and it's local. It's not like you're broadcasting from here in Griswold and someone in New Haven or someone in New York or someone in San Francisco is hearing it,
Gotcha.
So they don't care.
They don't care.
So like Paul, you could stand up and do a cartwheel and nobody would, the FCC wouldn't come in and tackle you and be like, no, didn't you read the No Cartwheel Act of 1979?
Yeah, I could picture me doing a cartwheel,
Yeah, you falling on your.
falling on my head.
I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see you do a cartwheel, Paul.
Whoa. How much?
Like $10.
Not enough.
Yeah. Well, I don't have much money, Paul.
No.
$7.
Yeah, it's got to get up there.
I have exactly 12 cents to my name.
We need more zeros.
Yeah. Michael Payne.
So the other thing I want to talk about today is the referendum here in Griswold about the budget. And I hate to say it. I don't think anybody's going to vote. And that's just a personal. That was now it's on your shirt. These flies. I'm not kidding. They have a death wish.
They are.
But as far as that is concerned,
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad you posted the what the rate is, because I wasn't sure. I thought it was pretty much going up a little bit, but by right, you said it went down a little bit.
no, I didn't post the rate, dude. Wasn't me.
Oh, you know what did it? Pam did. That's right. Pam
Okay.
did post it. I'm sorry. I got to give credit to Pam.
But still, today is the day.
Yeah.
Today's the big day.
Yeah.
Will you go out and vote? That's the question.
Yeah, it's at the high school. And unfortunately, you got to wear a mask. You can't go into high school without it, which is kind of a pain.
So let's see. Yeah. Okay. Just for example, I put today's the referendum day in Griswold. Will you be voting on the town and education budgets today? 2 people reacted.
Really? Two. Yeah, I would think that without any major changes, my guess is that people aren't even going to go.
I posted yesterday what information, because I'm curious what people want, and how they want it. So if it's delivered to you, what do you want?
Right.
And that's the only way we're going to know for sure, or whatever. So you'll see a theme here. Happenings around town meetings, and town lore. The registrar of voters and many others have been very good this time, making everyone aware of the town budget referendum.
Yeah, Pam posted it.
She's not even the registrar.
I know she isn't, but she did.
You
post
see what
it.
I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people have posted it.
Yeah.
So just,
I only saw her, so.
local events, local business news, town history and news, local resources. Okay. So pretty much, the same stuff.
Yeah.
Local events and notice of town meetings and updates and meetings for those who can't attend. Local history is fascinating, and many are enjoying from others that have been sharing.
Yeah.
Another one, town meeting videos when available, town meeting news, town history, local news. Does Sterling count? Somebody wanted to know. Asking for a friend. And somebody said Voluntown. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Cindy just goes, who's going to vote tomorrow? Meaning today.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just about everybody has said, I want local news. I want local this. I want local that. Okay. Last week. All right. How many people, let's even go back further than that. 2-3 weeks ago. How many different comments and different, I want to say, just engagements were there regarding the data center? Hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
So you think people want information on it, right?
Yeah.
Cool. You hear the backhoe out there?
Yeah. They're really digging.
So there we go. They want, and this right here. We want local information. We want. Okay. So it was posted. Austin edited it down.
Yes, he did.
And we reposted it. Do you know how many views? 60.
Wow.
60.
But what about the original one that you had out there? There were more. There was like 400 or 500 of those, right?
Well, on Facebook, but I'm talking about, I reposted it, on YouTube
Yeah, you did.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't, I don't know if I'm really confused. And this is not supposed to be snarky today. Oh, by the way, I missed the memo. I'm the only one not wearing a red shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said so. David said. What was I talking about? I got totally sidetracked there. You don't even know either.
Focus. Data centers, your YouTube.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
talking about reposting. Yeah.
Do
reposting
people
to YouTube.
want the information, or do they just want to know that the information is there?
I feel like a lot of people just want to know, like it's some kind of like security thing that they just want to know, like, okay, I have the option to go look at local news, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, my guess is now we probably won't hear much about data centers for a while because now it's old news.
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay, so now they've come in, they made their pitch. They were at the economic development. They were at the P&Z, got it done. Now it's going to be quiet for a while.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, they made the text. They made the text amendment as
Right.
far as state and local.
correct.
So that's really all they needed to
Yeah.
do.
So now it's kind of dead now till the next phases come in. So what will be the next thing that people will be complaining about?
What's that? What do you think the next thing is?
Elections.
You think so?
Yeah, that'll be next.
Yeah, because we don't even know who's running
We don't even know
yet.
who's running
That's
yet.
because it's the first selectman seat. I will go out there and say I bet you it's going to be Dana Bennett.
I would be willing to bet that too.
I think she's going to be running for.
Yeah, I think so. She's made herself known at a lot of meetings, so people now know who she
Right.
is.
Yeah.
That's the way she did it, because nobody knew her last time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. You gotta get if you're doing something like that, you gotta get your name out there.
Exactly. So, and it'll be her second time running. She ran against Todd Babbitt last time in a losing effort, but I think she's looking to change that this time around.
Yeah.
But we don't even know if Todd Babbitt is running.
We don't even know that.
The word is that he is.
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
That's a rumor, but it's not official.
Rumor.
Well, and only because he's the incumbent, so you would think he.
But he's
might-
had 2 terms.
He's had 2 terms. So
But has he had enough?
who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
I gotta say, in recent memory, he's been beat up more than any first selectman in a long time.
Yeah, yes.
You know, and honestly, you know, I'm a registered Republican. I don't sit here and spit my own views here because it's not fair. I don't use this platform for that.
Right.
But as a Republican, I like what he's done.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's really much of a difference between small town politics between
I think
Republican
I
Democrats.
think a lot of the beat up has to do with being political.
Yeah.
Some people have a political agenda, and so they beat him up. So they want to make themselves look good. They try to find fault with them so they can win.
Mhm.
You know, that's the idea of the
Well,
whole
it's any political arena that way. you
yeah,
know,
it's
so.
typical politicians doing what politicians do.
But if you think about it too, the whole data center was 2017 is when it started.
Yeah.
You know, so was that a Todd Babbitt thing or was that a Kevin Schoolcheck thing?
I don't think it was Kevin.
Okay.
I think Kevin was already gone by the time.
Okay. Well, he was
Yeah.
he was state rep then. So right. Yeah. Or 2017 is that? No. He won the state rep job in 2000. I don't even know anymore. 16?
I don't know. He only did 1 term.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is 2 years, so he was long gone.
Got it.
I don't think he had anything to do with it.
No.
No.
Because Heather Summers was here and paid, you know, pretty much total homage to Todd Babbitt.
Yeah.
You know, for doing the data center deal.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty interesting how the data centers are going into towns that aren't regulated by PURA, you know, as far as electricity is concerned. Smart.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because now you can negotiate a rate.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't do it with.
UI.
Well, you couldn't do it with anything but PURA because it's a set rate.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so they can't say, okay, I'm going to give you this rate and we'll give this
Right.
guy that rate. They have to follow the rate structure, which in place.
Right. Yeah.
So they can't change it. You know, where with municipalities, they can. It's a good deal for the municipalities, that's for
Mhm.
sure. You know, in the towns that have municipalities. I'm sure that if we didn't have Jewett City Power,
Mhm.
they would not be here.
No.
Oh, I think you're right.
The
Yeah.
data centers would not be here in Griswold.
Right.
Yeah. No.
No. That's why they're not going to Plainfield. They can't go to Plainfield because Plainfield's regulated, doesn't have a municipality.
We do
Right.
not.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why they came here. But in a way, it's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you think, Paul, that the data centers is a good option for Griswold?
I think it is because of the fact that it increases our revenue coming into the town as far as our tax revenue goes. I think it takes this part of the state it makes it recognizable by Hartford now.
Mhm.
That maybe, because there's more than one. You got Norwich and you got Griswold here, with possibly more than one building coming in here in the future years. That this becomes like a technology area compared to always being on the other end of the state, which may make them in Hartford look up a little bit to this side of the state. We're not going to be the outcast anymore. We're not a farming community anymore. We're going to be noted for our technology areas. Because, once they come in, it's a good possibility other tech things could come in as well.
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at all the passive stuff that could happen.
Yeah, we don't know, but
Yeah.
it's a good possibility.
Yeah. It's all speculation, but it's like,
And let's face it, technology is the way of the future.
right.
We all know that. I
Yeah.
mean, we all know things are going to change. Just look at what the past 10 years, 5 years, what's changed. You ever think you'd have a car that would drive by itself?
No,
Who the hell thought that?
and that's all due to data,
Yeah,
data
Yeah, exactly.
availability,
correct.
hence data centers,
Yeah. I mean, they're all doing something.
autonomous cars.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, even you got a car that parks itself. Just sit there, push a button, and the car will park itself.
Yep.
My friend John, that I was talking about, my lifelong
Yeah.
friend that I met from Scouts initially, him and his father. He has a Tesla, and he has an app on his phone. He gets out of the car, and it's weird. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at the one car, and I forget what I think it's the Korean car. I'm not sure which one it is. If you're-
Microsoft has a car now.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, and they're like balls for tires.
Yeah.
So and the car just
Yeah. It's omnidirectional.
yeah.
Oh wow.
It's really cool. No, it's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's all technology.
Cars got balls. Anyway.
That's not good.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, the way I was going with the one Korean car now, that if you're in a tight parking spot and you can't get your door open, you just start the car up. The car will move itself, so you can get in it after. You know what I'm saying? The car actually gets out of the parking spots, move down, so you can get in it.
Mm.
You don't have to be in the car to do that. So I mean, that's all stuff. That's technology. So
Right.
I mean, I can imagine what the future's going to be.
And it's really funny to me that a lot of the older generations that, and I'm not saying like your generation, Paul, and like some of Mike's generation and things like that. Well, it's funny to me because these were the kids growing up. They were like, yeah, in like the year 2000, we're gonna have flying cars and there's gonna be no more disease and it's gonna be great. And now we have things like self-driving cars and cars that are autonomous, and everybody's like, we don't want that. We
Well-
never wanted that. What are you talking about? Get out. We don't want that.
Well-
and it's like, if you can't handle this, you can't handle a flying car.
We all laughed at Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy with his speaker watch. He was talking to us. Well, guess what?
Smartwatches.
A smartwatch.
Exactly.
I mean, I took a phone call from you the other day. It was on my phone. It was on my watch because I
Yeah.
didn't have my phone was upstairs.
Yeah.
So, there we go. I mean,
It's one of those
you can only
things.
imagine what's going to come out next. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things that are going to be out there.
Well, they're going to be there. They already have 3D TVs now, but now they're going to come out. They're going to be a little bit bowed
Yeah.
on both sides and larger.
Yeah.
For the 3D type of effect.
Yeah.
There's that. There's also holograms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be to the point where you know now how you can have a conversation like, Paul, I can talk to you FaceTime on my phone. We can have a conversation and then that's it. Now they're going to have holograms where it's going to look like you are right in front of me and having a conversation.
Yep. Because
That's coming down the road.
Yeah, because they already have a lot of simple holograms, which it's just like a bunch of it's usually like 6 fans, and they all have different LEDs on them, and you plug it in and it will project things. Like you plug it in and it runs off obviously electricity, and you plug it in. You can plug it into something else and program it, and then the fans they spin rapidly, and it just creates a 3D projection. There we go.
Yeah. Well, our generation was known for rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, you were 40 in the 70s. Shush.
So that got to do with it.
Your generation was sticks and stones.
God.
You were shaking your fist at the rock and rollers.
No, I
You were like, you damn kids.
Holographic TV, man.
Was it? Paul, I'm just busting your stones, man.
What's that going to do for the porn industry? I've said that before. It's like,
I mean, you already got
oh
VR.
my God.
I don't know. I think the porn industry is going down. I mean, I don't know. Nobody
You already got
I
VR,
don't
man.
even.
I don't think anybody really cares about it anymore.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to it.
No, I don't either. But I don't think. You don't hear too much about it anymore.
Well, you get to be our age, Paul. Don't matter.
Well, you know something. I just no.
It doesn't matter.
It's funny that you say that because some woman or some young girl that was a porn star, they just found her dead. It was a young kid. I guess they found her
That's
dead.
too bad.
She was homeless and she did a drug overdose. I mean, that's what happens to them. She was a young kid.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, Paul, I was just joshing you, man. I know that.
So if you hear any of the noise outside, they're ripping up Tracy Avenue today again.
Yep.
They're going to be here for a couple of days. So the road's going to be closed. I couldn't even park here today because I couldn't get behind the building, but they're laying the gas line.
Yeah, another gas line going down.
They're going to connect the gas line. So,
Yep.
So that is kind of cool. But this is going to be unavailable. Well, they're done by like 3:00. So then they're out of here. Yeah. They marked it last couple of days. Today they're out.
Digging it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you happen to see somebody power washing and painting and doing stuff in the front of our building, beep your horn and say hi because the Jewett City Savings Bank Studios is getting a little bit of a facelift.
Yes, we are.
Over the next few days. So
yeah, it's going to get 10 years younger.
Nice.
It's getting sew and tuck or tuck and sew or whatever the hell you call it. What do they call those things?
What?
Tummy tuck?
Tummy, yeah, getting tucked.
Tummy tuck?
Yeah.
It's of course,
Very confused. I was like, what?
Keep up with it, man. Keep up with it.
So I got an email this morning, from the saying, hey, it's rent due, and I just responded back, no habla inglés.
It's the 16th.
Hey, look, you worry about your business, I'll worry about mine, all right?
You got 30 cats to look after, Paul.
Yeah, you worry about your cats.
You stay in the cat lane.
Stay in your lane, Lash. Shut your Essen mouth.
Oh, quit being an Essen. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Are you done? Are you not focusing?
Full of water. And you said
I'm looking
that.
for this damn fly. I want to kill this damn fly. He's around here. As soon as they put this up, he's gone. He knows. Don't tell me these flies aren't smart. They know. They know that death is looming when somebody rolls up a little bit of a paper and is going to come smack dab on the front of their head. What's the first thing that goes through, Austin? What's the first thing that goes through a bug's mind when it hits a windshield? Do you know? It's ass. And that's pretty much what's going to happen here. So
You'll never hit him with it.
I got him yesterday.
You were lucky.
You weren't here.
You were lucky.
Ask the psychic ladies. They were here. They went, boom. They predicted it too. So
The fly must have been slow. Because when you swat that paper, the air coming from that pushes the fly away.
no, yeah, but if he's right here,
Yeah.
you got to go like this.
Oh.
Because flies are gonna go straight up first. Bam. If you do this right here, yeah, you're gonna blow them right out of the way. Or you watch it. This is why I'm so good at actually swatting them out of the air by clapping. So there was one. It was just like this, and I went, boom. You got him. I got one in the back yesterday like that.
Ooh. It's a regular
That boy's quick. Let me tell you right now.
He's a fly quacker.
Fat boy is quick. I can go ahead and zap them things.
You're the fly.
I'm so fly.
You're the super fly.
Super fly. But something? He ain't around, is he? No, he knows. He knows.
He's gone. You're right. He took off.
Yeah.
Death is looming for that fly.
Yeah.
And they went,
He did.
help me.
I don't see him. He didn't take off.
Help me. Help me. Help me.
Yeah.
So
He's gone.
he's out of here.
That's good.
He's out of here. All right, going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a little bit right here on SNSN.
You buy better. Better Burns. Much better. So much better Burns. Right insurance at the right price. You buy better Burns. You buy better at Burns. Buy better.
When was the the last time you considered the benefits of having all your insurance handled in one place? One number to call, a licensed account manager dedicated to your policies, discounts for having your policies with one company. The list goes on. Did you know the Burns Agency has a team dedicated specifically to home, auto, umbrella, flood, life insurance, business insurance, including workers' comp and professional policies? We do it all. Call, email, chat us online today. Experience the products and service our loyal customers receive and appreciate. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Hello, I'm Miranda Mahoney, Project Coordinator of Grizzled Pride, your drug-free community coalition. We want to help you keep your kids safe during this challenging time. Social distancing is still in effect, and so is the social host law. Reports are coming in that teens are contracting the virus at underage drinking parties. Parents, allowing underage drinking on your property could land you in jail for up to a year, plus fines. Another reason why you should not provide alcohol to our youth. For more info, go to grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org.
Hi, this is Alan Gear. You may know me as Mr. Jewett City. I want to tell you about my experience with our local eye doctor, Dr. Joel Zuckerberg. I recently had cataract surgery, and I was told that I needed new glasses. I didn't know what to do because the problem was this was right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Where the heck was I going to get glasses? I checked places that make glasses. I looked online, and what I found was my solution was practically in my own backyard. So I called Dr. Z, as most people know him. His office is right on North Main Street, right here in the borough of Jewett City. I went to my appointment and had my glasses faster than I would have thought possible. Call Dr. Zuckerberg at 376-2848. I trust Dr. Z with my eyesight, and you should too. Make an appointment today.
With SRN Sports, I'm Patrick Foss. Anyone hopeful of a Bryson DeChambeau Brooks Koepka pairing at the U.S. Open will have to wait. The USGA has them on opposite sides of the course at Torrey Pines, one playing in the morning and one in the afternoon. DeChambeau and Koepka have been engaged in a social media spat that began nearly 2 years ago. And if you listen to Koepka, it may be all in fun.
I think it's good for the game. I mean, it's pretty much been on every news channel. It's up there. It's a big news story. To me, that's growing the game.
U.S. Open tees off Thursday in the Stanley Cup semifinals. Tampa Bay iced New York 4-2 to tie the series at 1. Lightning forward Braden Point, who scored his 10th goal of the playoffs, says they had a better jump than they did in losing the opener.
I think our compete was higher tonight. You know, we were selling out a lot more. Guys were winning races to pucks, and we were able to capitalize on some chances.
Game 3 Thursday on the Islanders' home ice. Tonight it's Montreal at Vegas. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0. This is SRN Sports. Brooklyn has a 3-2 lead in their NBA Eastern Conference semifinal after a 114-108 comeback win over Milwaukee. The Bucks' Giannis Antetokounmpo with 34 points on blowing a 16-point halftime lead in Brooklyn.
Coming out of the half, our effort wasn't what it's supposed to be. I think Brooklyn went on the run. They made tough shots. They went to the free throw line. They made some threes. We just got to do a good job defending.
Game 6 Thursday in Milwaukee. In the American League, Cleveland beat Baltimore 7-2. It was New York 6-5 over Toronto. Chicago 3, Tampa Bay 0. Detroit 4, Kansas City 3. Houston 6, Texas 3. Oakland 6-4 over LA. Seattle blanked Minnesota 10-0. National League Finals, Washington 8, Pittsburgh 1. New York 3-2 over Chicago. St. Louis 2, Miami 1. Cincinnati in 10 innings over Milwaukee 2-1. Colorado 8, San Diego 4. San Francisco 9, Arizona 8. Los Angeles 5, Philadelphia 3. The Interleague Final, Boston 10, Atlanta 8. With SRN Sports, I'm Patrick Foss.
SRN. All right. Well, whatever that was. Let's take a look at the forecast right now. Here's one job, Paul Ash.
Guess what?
You don't have it, do you?
No, I do.
Figure, see, you know?
Yeah, I do.
You never know.
Right now, the temperature downtown Jewett City right now is 75 degrees. Be abundance of sunshine around today with highs around 75. But tonight, there's skies, lows around 48. For Thursday, mainly sunny, highs around 77 degrees. And of course, for Thursday night, again, clear, lows around 49. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Wednesday, 06/16/2021.
Okay, very good. All right. So we have somebody in the hot seat right now who's not on camera, who's kind of like, all you can see is basically the back of his head. So I wonder if you can guess who this person is. You started your local job, your local career in this town in what year, sir?
94.
1994. Really? How old were you?
23.
Oh, okay.
Fresh out of college.
Fresh out of college.
Yep.
So 23. How many years have you been producing plays?
Oh, just give it away. 27.
No, you could be.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah. 27.
Who throws on a jazz festival every year now?
You are a heck of a clue giver, Mike. You are something, man.
I don't want to make it too hard. It's Ray Churchill. Hi, Ray.
How you doing?
So, how do you tell us how the annual jazz festival went? How'd it go?
Was awesome. And before I tell you about that, I just want to thank you for all the great publicity you gave us, and
it's fun, man.
It was awesome. The interviews and everything, it was super. But it was a perfect day. The farm, Urechko Tree Farm, looked beautiful. The bands were cranking, and we sold 415 tickets, which was 100 more than we had done in the past, 100 plus. And the lawn was packed. Everybody was jamming out. The bands were incredible. The mood was great. Everybody loved the fact that they were allowed to bring their own baskets and coolers. And even though we had 3 super food trucks there, the food truck still got plenty of business. I mean, you get a waffle and iced coffee truck. Yep. Yeah. Not waffle, crepe.
Oh.
I got it. The Bananas Foster crepe, gentlemen. Add the bacon.
Say what?
Called it my buddy got one, called it a fat Elvis. It was awesome. But iced coffee and crepes, and then the other food truck was Rah Rah's ice cream truck out of Plainfield, and they had an ice cream flavor I've never had. It was called hold on, give me Graham Central Station.
I thought you were going to say like Bloodsport.
No. Graham good golly, Miss Molly. Graham Central Station was awesome. It was great.
There's a graham cracker. And
it was a sweet cream ice cream with graham cracker in it. Homer Simpson, right? And then you got what was it? Top Dogs was our fancy hot dog and sandwich truck. They killed it. They made great money, and still people were able to bring their own stuff. It was a wonderful day. We can't wait to get going. I think tentatively our date for next year is the 4th of June. So we have a board meeting coming up in a week, and we'll vote on that, and then you won't be able to shut me up for another 350 days.
That's cool though. I'm really glad that was a big success.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I couldn't make it because we were out and about. We had plans that day and everything, but that day I was throwing things up on social media, and I was looking at all the pictures, and it was really cool.
It was cool. And if anybody wants to find us on Facebook and like ECPAA on Facebook, you'll see clips from the day, all the publicity we got. You'll hear the bands playing. It's really good stuff. So would love it. But this was a nice treat. Mike, did you say Thursday was going to be a nice day?
Did you?
Good. Because I have a birthday sleepover with 13-year-old girls in a tent for my daughter outside on Thursday.
Boy.
So it better be nice because I don't want them in my house. So
I honestly believe that the whole week is nice.
Gorgeous. So I asked my daughter, I said, what do you want me to make for food? This is my kid. It could only be my
degrees,
sunny, beautiful. Pool, river, tent, stay out of my house. And I asked her what she wants for food. She goes, Dad, this could only be my kid. I want pulled pork sandwiches, homemade mac and cheese, and cornbread. That's my child. So I'm going home right now to throw a pork butt in the smoker
If
So
they
proud.
say an extra day, it
So
would be Sunday, Friday too. So
Oh,
you're
good. No, that's probably the day you three are going to roll in and kill me on all my leftovers, right?
No, I'm showing up to the birthday party. I'm gonna push all the kids out of the way. Excuse me. We were invited.
Absolutely.
Mike, no, you weren't. Yeah. We got a clip. Austin, roll the footage.
Oh, no.
Next thing you know, I guess, well, maybe we flip the words around.
Yeah.
Some creative editing, sure. Yeah.
So I just have one more question for you, because I know you're on a schedule and you got to split.
Yep.
But what about the school plays? What's going on? Is that something that's going to
No, the play it's being planned right now, and I'm not ready to announce a title, but I think we've come to an agreement on what that's going to be. The school musical will happen next spring.
Mhm.
I haven't talked to Tim Moore about the fall play, but I can't imagine it wouldn't happen. Admin is very excited to get everything back going. The directors are very excited. The kids are chomping at the bit. And as I think I've told you before, Mike, on an interview, the number one decision that me as the producer director has to make each year is what can that batch of kids do well?
And I'm thinking right now it's going to be hard because you're a little removed from it and the whole year gone.
Just think of it this way. On day one of the school year approaching, day one in September, I'll have heard one of the 4 classes in the high school sing. So I'll know what the seniors sound like, and that's it. And it's very hard to pick a show with that. So I try really hard. I never do, actually. I never precast a show. I never say pick Music Man and say, all right, well,
Because this person is
kid's going to be Harold
right.
Hill. Because I've learned through the years that you never know. I had one of my greatest female talents come through, and one year she says, Mr. C, I want to cheerlead this year, so I'm not going to do the show. Okay, that's fine. It's your choice. But if I had precast a show based on her, I'd be screwed.
Yeah.
So going, I've just never will precast. However, you do have to know what you can do, especially when it comes to male female parts. I'm not going to do Grease if I only have 1 or 2 guys that I know I can count on, right? And you usually have enough women to do what you want to do. It's always the guys.
The dudes, yeah.
Do you have the dudes to pull off a show? And as of right now,
you don't know.
I don't know. I know I have one guy because he's the only guy I've ever seen play a lead on stage before. And he was a freshman, played a lead in Cinderella when that was the last show we got off the ground. Yeah. And he was a freshman that year. Now he's going to be a senior. And I know I have some fairly talented younger boys, but I don't know what they can do. I've never seen them on stage. So that's the number one decision I make each year to ensure success is I have to put them in a show that they can do. Right. It's like being a football coach.
Right.
You got all big, thick-necked running backs and you don't run a power offense, you're stupid, right? If you spread them out and try to pass to them, you're dumb because you're not playing to their strengths. Yeah. So I have to figure out, and the whole directorial staff has to figure out what the strengths of this upcoming cast are and then pick a show appropriately. So we'll make the right choice, and we certainly do our homework, and the kids will eat it up. And if we go to the one I have in my head right now, it's going to be it's hugely fun. It's such a big fun show. It's not super well known. It's one we've done in the past, way back in the past, and it was a crowd favorite. So I'm pretty sure that that's the direction we're going to go, but I want to meet with the directors one more time.
I loved Little Mermaid. I loved that show.
That was a huge to-do. And again, we had the cast. Yeah. You had the cast for that show.
It was a big show too.
Huge show. Yeah. And costume show through the roof. Keith Dagenet did an unbelievable job with the costumes. And you knew you had Sophia Foss or Zyra Figueroa or whoever to play Ariel. And now it's just a matter of who plays what. You have the stud pieces there. You just don't know where they're going to fall. Right. But we ended up double casting Ursula because we had 2 great Ursulas. We had the guys for the sailors. You had a Prince Eric. You had more talent than you knew what to do with.
It was Maddie was the other Ursula, correct?
Nope.
Okay.
Maddie was a mermaid in that one. Maddie Lash.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then Maddie. No. Maddie, the last time you saw Maddie, she was the the fairy godmother in Cinderella and tore it up.
Yeah.
You know, Maddie had always, she's just, what a set of pipes on that kid.
Yeah.
She's at Berkeley now, right?
She got accepted.
Yeah.
It's $70,000 a year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so she hasn't been able to come up with.
No,
the
I don't
money.
blame her a little bit. Yeah, she told me she got accepted. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, she got
I
accepted.
hope you get, oh, of course she would. She's got
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
kid.
she's
The kid.
got, I told you that. She's got great pipes.
She's got ridiculous.
But, you know,
pipes.
give her the credit. She's learned how to play the piano.
Yeah.
So she's continued her career.
She's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
That kid will fall on her feet, no problem. She's a go-getter, super talented.
Oh yeah.
Love
you can't,
that. Love
you can't
that.
tell
kid.
us what you're thinking of.
I can tell you some that probably won't happen that were on the list.
Okay.
We tried to see if we could bring back Grease, and we didn't think that we had the men for it. You know, we could cast Zuko or we could cast Kaneki, but we couldn't cast them both with all the T-Birds. You know, you couldn't do it. So if
Did you have a Sandra Day?
we had probably not a perfect stereotypical Sandra D, but we had
Rizzo.
probably 3 or 4 that could. Rizzo's coming out the ears. Probably 3 or 4 Sandra Ds that could do the job very well,
Yeah.
but you just didn't have enough men.
Got it.
And it's all from the pandemic. You know, it's all, I haven't been able to get in there and recruit the guys into the chorus program. And once they get into the chorus program, then the next step is to get on stage because they build a little confidence. And the other one we looked at was Urinetown. Do you know that one?
No.
Actually spelled urine, U-R-I-N-E, Urinetown.
No. I kind of got that when you said that.
It's a farce. It's a very funny farce about a town that has a water storage and you have to pay to use the bathroom.
Okay.
And it's funny. It's kind of dark. It's kind of dark humor. The music is okay. I didn't love it. So we're moving in another direction, I think. But you'll be very thrilled with this one because
I'm sure.
it's right in our wheelhouse, and I know we can do it well. So it's a show.
I almost want to say one, but I'm afraid to, so I'll wait.
We've getting close to pick this show because we could do it with one male. And if I get males to surprise us, if we get other males, that's great. You can go into other male roles, but you could do it with one male, an entire cast of women.
See, now, the one I was thinking, I think, well, it would make sense, but I'm not going to say it.
Go write it down.
I'm not going to say it.
Put it down. You get it.
I have a pen.
No pen in the studio.
No,
because we do everything.
That's okay.
paperless. Hold on.
That's okay.
Oh no, I do. Hold on, I can. Because I
do 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 do
Okay.
do 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 ba-do, 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 do, do, do. Nope.
Okay.
Do.
But you could have done it. You could do that with one guy, right?
Not really. You need
No?
three.
All right.
You need three. You need three. He wrote down Footloose, which was a previous show of ours, but you really need 3 guys to do that one.
yeah, right. Just 3 dancers.
It probably would not jump right to your head. So you'll hear it. I'll put it up on social media soon enough.
Well, you know, as soon as we turn the microphones off, I'm going to ask you. Which we got to do right now. We got to get out of here. So,
That's right.
so anyway, I really appreciate you spending some time with us.
I love it.
You know, when you can. So it's really, really cool. So that's it. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Once again, we'll see you guys Friday. And Ray, I'm so glad that everything went well with the Jazz Fest and things are back to normal, getting back to normal with
Yeah,
the school
baby.
and everything.
I get to breathe for a couple of weeks and then
Boom,
do it again.
Back again. All right, we will see you once again tomorrow right here on SNSN. Have a good day, everyone.
The flagship for Griswold High School sports and your home for local news and weather, broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City. The streaming news and sports network, SN.